Testing 1 2 3. Testing 1 2 3. And with that, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to Grand Forks, North Dakota. It's the first home game for the Red River Pilots since June 5th. After being rained out on Monday, they're facing the North Iowa Ragin Roosters. The Ragin Roosters enter this game 6-13. Here's their starting lineup. In center field, number 15, Mike Pratt. Playing shortstop, number 24, Robert Castillo. In right field, the three-hitter, number 4, Nick Eastham. Peyton McGregor's in left, batting fourth. Still the only player to hit a home run here at Kraft Field this season. Batting fifth, designated hitter Wyatt Duncan. At first base, where Duncan's normally at, is number 12, Jordan Kelly. Carson Gross is in the 7th spot, playing third base. Andrew Pyle behind the dish, batting 8th. And Cameron Rendon at the Keystone, batting 9th. The starting pitcher for the Ragin Roosters, making his first start of the season, although he has pitched in 5 games already, River Terry. The Pilots come into tonight's game at 7-11. That's good for second place in the Expedition League. Leading off, playing center field, number 5, Caleb Whitley. Batting second in left, Alex Miller. The 3-hole hitter, Jalen Lee, at first base once again. Catching, Jason Willers, batting fourth. Tyler Wiltshire's at third base, batting fifth. Carter Payne's in right field. He's in the 6th spot. Designated hitter tonight is Isaac Becker. He's batting 7th. Tanner Thompson at second base, batting 8th. And Jared Kirkman shifts over to shortstop, will bat 9th.
Leading off, the center fielder, number 15, Michael Pratt.
And starting tonight for the Pilots is Aiden McGee. He'll look to get things going here against Mike Pratt. For the first time in 17 days, we're underway at Kraft Field. Ball 1 misses inside. We want to send quick apologies out. We are very short-staffed tonight, so the count will not be updated as regularly as normal. I will be doing my best to report all outs and runs as quick as possible. We'll be updating the count when I can. 2-0 right now on Mike Pratt. McGee looking for his first strike of the game. Still unable to get it. It's 3-0 to the Ragin Rooster leadoff man. McGee making his 3rd start of the season for the Pilots. And misses inside once again, so Pratt will go to first base.
Following the walk, now batting the shortstop, number 24, Robert Castillo.
First pitch to Robert Castillo, missing outside. The count 1-0 now on the Ragin Rooster shortstop. Castillo, a late add to this North Iowa team. This is just his 3rd game of the season. And he takes a fastball for a strike, McGee's first of the night. McGee takes a breath, looks home and delivers. That ball is sent down the right field line, tailing out of play. It'll be 1-2 on Robert Castillo. Still no outs in this one, only 2 hitters in. McGee has it lined right to Tanner Thompson at second base, and that will be the first out. A hard hit ball, but just unable to find any grass that
now
time.
Batting the right fielder, number 4, Nick Eastham.
Nick Eastham boasts the highest average on the year for North Iowa. Comes into this game hitting .415. Be one of the higher batting averages in all of Expedition League play. That ball sails away from McGee over the head of Willers. and Pratt is in scoring position. Eastham yet to hit a home run this year. Does have 5 doubles. All it will take to score Pratt here is a single, takes a fastball above the letters 2-0. A sophomore out of Moorhead, Kentucky. Plays his baseball at Midway University. Strike 1 from McGee down the heart of the plate. McGee eyeing Pratt at second. The leg kick and the throw. It's a curveball. Stays inside, 3-1. Eastham, obviously a very dangerous hitter. And he'll take first base as that one from McGee misses high and wide. His second walk here in the early going.
Now batting the left fielder, number 30, Peyton McGregor.
As I mentioned during the lineup introduction, McGregor, the only player to go yard here. The Pilots have 4 home runs on the season, but all have come in road parks as McGee gets a fastball low and in, just catching the corner of the zone for strike 1. And a changeup dives below the bat of McGregor there, 0-2. A big hitter for McGee. With 1 down. Multiple runners on base, still in the top of the first. Just a beautiful day for baseball out here once again. Fastball swung on and missed, and there's out number 2.
Now batting the designated hitter, number 31.
McGee quickly dispatches of Peyton
Duncan.
McGregor. Some impressive stuff brings Wyatt Duncan, tonight's DH, into the box. McGee delivers another strike, his 4th straight, just at the knees. Obviously saw him struggling with his command a little early, but has found the grip on these last few pitches. We'll see if he can do it a 5th time in a row. He does. It's a soft grounder to Kirkman at short. Throws over to Thompson, and that will end the frame. 2 walks, no runs allowed from Aiden McGee. The Pilots coming to bat in the bottom of the first. You're watching the Expedition League on YouTube. Welcome back to Kraft Field here in Grand Forks. A quick meeting on the mound between River Terry and Andrew Pyle. Center fielder Caleb Whitley ready to get things going in the bottom of the first.
For your Red River Pilots, the center fielder, number 5, Caleb Whitley.
This will be Whitley's 11th appearance of the season as a hitter. He takes ball 1 up and away. Whitley has the second highest batting average on this Red River team. Healthy cut there, but he comes up empty 1-1. Has 2 doubles and 4 RBIs and just turns out of the way of that inside fastball, 2-1. MacU product takes another good cut there, but it's sent back into the bleachers, 2-2. The 6th pitching appearance for River Terry this season, his first start of the year. Kicks and delivers. Whitley lines that up the middle. It'll drop for a base hit. And the Pilots get things started off on the right foot with their leading base stealer on first base. And their second leading base stealer, Alex Miller, coming to the plate.
Now batting the left fielder, number 11, Alex Miller.
Whitley with 9 steals on the season elects not to go on that pitch. A fastball right down the heart of the plate to Miller, starting in left field tonight. Another one of those MacU guys, Mid-Atlantic Christian. Curveball stays high, 1-1. Terry takes a breath, steps back on. Whitley eyeing third base coach and manager Matty Holm. Has the mitt on his right hand. Twitching the left, he's off and running. Miller lines it down the right field line. It's over the glove of Jordan Kelly. He'll go to second. Whitley thought the ball was caught initially. He's at third. Miller is gunned out at second base. Looked like Miller had some issue coming around first, with Jordan Kelly still checking the webbing of his glove for that baseball.
For the Red River Pilots, the first baseman, number 29.
But he gets Whitley over to third base,
Lee.
just 90 feet away from being the first run of this game for Jalen Lee. Lee swings and misses at that first offering from Terry. Lee has had the highest batting average for Red River practically the entire season. A curveball dives at his knee and he swats it into the first base dugout, 0-2. Last time Lee was here, he had an absolutely amazing homestand, and that ball grounded to the shortstop. It's bobbled. He'll throw to first. Lee is out, but he brings in the first run of the ball game. The Pilots ahead 1-0.
Following the RBI ground out. Now batting the catcher, number 26, Jason Willers.
And the bases are empty for the cleanup hitter and catcher Jason Willers out of Morningside University. The first pitch he sees. Time is called. No pitch there as Willers steps back out. We'll go through his routine once again. And the official ready for play now given. That breaking ball a little bit better than the last one from Terry, but it's still a ball, 1-0.
They step in the box, cut it. As soon as they step in the box, cut it. My bad, I didn't mean to do that. You're good.
And that ball popped up. It's tailing down the first baseline. Kelly is over and makes the grab. Pilots only send 4 to the plate, but they net the first run of the ball game, and they lead 1-0 heading to the second. You're watching the Expedition League on YouTube. Welcome back. Jordan Kelly will be the first hitter to face Aiden McGee here in the top of the second. First inning absolutely flew by. Jason Willers tries framing that one, but unable to do so. Below the knees for ball 1. Aiden McGee staked to a lead for what feels like the first time this season. So the Pilots have the least amount of runs scored in the league, but they've also had to play the Service Valley Saberdogs the most amount of times in the league, so it's bound to happen. Saberdogs have only given up 39 runs the entire season. It's 2-0 on Kelly, now 2-1 after a big hack. McGee back to the plate, another fastball high, it's fouled back. Just over your camera shot, 2-2 against North Iowa's Jordan Kelly, who really thought he had that line drive that Alex Miller slapped down the first baseline. And that ball swung on and missed. It's over the top. McGee with his second strikeout.
Now batting the third baseman, number 5, Carson Gross.
The Northern Colorado man, Carson Gross. Left-handed hitting against McGee. Takes a fastball, misses high for a ball. Late two-seam action there. Started a little too late. Willers sets up on the outside corner for the 1-0. It's low, 2-0. As I mentioned, McGee just making his third start of the year. That fastball is sent into center field. Caleb Whitley runs up and under it. Reels it in for the first out. The second out of the inning, pardon me.
Ball Calling the flyout. Now batting the catcher, number 22, Andrew Pyle.
First time I have seen Andrew Pyle play this year. His first appearance here in Grand Forks. McGee rifles a fastball over the outside corner for the get-ahead strike. 9 1/3 coming into this game for McGee. A fastball just in the same spot, 0-2. That heater is lively here in the early going. Pyle tips his cap and awaits the 0-2. Bounce to Kirkman. Waits for it to get waist high. Throws to Jalen Lee. 1-2-3 for Aiden McGee on 11 pitches. That's how you like to see it done if you're a Red River fan. Bottom of the second upcoming. You're watching the Expedition League on YouTube. The switch hitting Tyler Wiltshire will dig in to start the bottom of the second, facing River Terry. It's a fastball fouled straight back. The Pilots and Roosters working fairly quickly so far. We're only 18 minutes into this game, but the bottom of the second. Wiltshire, a 208 hitter on the season, 10 for 48. Fouls that one. A little dribbler to Micah Barkenhagen comes out of the dugout to field that one. A rare sight in center field right now as the American flag out there is at a standstill. Usually a very windy playing surface we have here. 1-2 on Wiltshire. The pitch from Terry fouled back once again. The last game for Wiltshire came on Sunday against the Pier Trappers. It was a game that the Pilots won. He went 1 for 4, was caught stealing. takes a two-seamer there from Terry on the inside corner. Out number 1 comes via the backwards K for the Ragin
Now batting
Roosters.
for your Red River Pilots, the right fielder number 15, Carter Payne.
Right fielder Carter Payne takes ball 1. Curveball landing where Wiltshire just vacated. Payne out of Minot State, just like Tyler Wiltshire. A fastball on the outside corner, 1-1. Possibly the biggest difference between batting average and on-base percentage on this Red River club. He waves and misses at that breaking ball from Terry, 1-2. Hitting only 182, but his on-base percentage sits at 391. That curveball stays above the zone. Fifth pitch of the at-bat. Payne drills it down the left field line, out of play, foul. That hefty on-base percentage from Payne is buoyed by 8 walks. So really patient hitter as he sees pitch number 6. And a 7th will be on the way here momentarily. Full count on the Pilot right fielder. Terry comes set. His payoff is low, bounces off the plate. Payne will hustle down to first. The quick peek back to see how far that ball got away from Andrew Pyle.
Following the walk, now batting is the designated hitter number 9, Isaac Becker.
Becker DHing tonight. We've seen him at first base and right field throughout the season. First pitch swinging, it's a fastball hit off the fence, keeping that first row of bleachers safe. 0-1 the count. Just one away here in the bottom of the second. Carter Payne occupies first. Terry delivers and Becker hits that ball into right field. Tailing toward the line, it's foul. Sliding catches made by Nick Eastham out there. Very impressive play.
Now batting
Bit of a tough one for me to see even. It's where the
Tanner
sun is directing down from.
Thompson.
A very smooth slide right in front of the VIP section here for out number 2. Tanner Thompson shoots it down the first baseline, but it tails foul. And he broke his bat on that one, it looks like. He'll head to the dugout to get another. Goes from a white and blue bat to an all black one. A nice cut there, but it doesn't connect with anything. 0-2 on the Red River second baseman. Jared Kirkman stands on deck. Fastball, strike 3, looking to end the frame. Terry collects 2 strikeouts looking there. No runs, no hits for the Pilots. Carter Payne reaches via a walk, but that's all there is. We're headed to the 3rd. You're watching the Expedition League on YouTube. Both the Ragin Roosters and Pilots send 8 hitters to the plate through the first 2 innings, so 9-hole hitter Cameron Rendon will lead off the third. McGee missing outside with another very good fastball. Not sure what the difference is for McGee today, but the thing just seems to have a couple more ticks on it. That one down and away 2-0. McGee 0-1 in those 2 starts, a 7.71 ERA. Appeal there. Rendon does not offer. We'll see if he gets a green light. First 3-0 count of the ball game. McGee looks to climb back in. He's unable to do so, and Rendon will get walked.
Now batting the
third North Iowa player to draw a walk so far.
Pratt.
Center fielder Mike Pratt was the first North Iowa player to draw a walk. He takes a strike over the outer half. Swings and misses at that pitch. 0-2. Rendon swipes second. Willer's unable to get that transition cleanly from glove to hand. Oh and 2 on the North Iowa leadoff man. McGee steps off. Rendon getting a little antsy out there, was almost halfway to third base. Has a very big lead this time, and Pratt is hit on the right calf.
Now batting the shortstop, number 24, Robert Castillo.
And if you're a fan of the Ragin Roosters, this would be a big moment for Robert Castillo's first hit in the Expedition League. Lined out sharply to Tanner Thompson at second base earlier today. And Jalen Lee makes a nice play to his left. Throws to second. Kirkman unable to get the tag before the slide in there. No longer a forced play because Lee had to go to the first base bag first. A slick little play there. Kirkman thought he nabbed.
Now batting the right fielder, number 4,
Mike Pratt there, but the field umpire says otherwise. One out, runners on second and third for right fielder Nick Eastham. Fastball swung on and missed. A lot of late cuts from North Iowa so far today. McGee will look to keep him off speed with a changeup there, and it dives back, just catches the top part of the zone. 0-2. Not typically where you want to see changeups located, but that one ends up working out. And another changeup there, waved over the top of strike 3, McGee's third K. And he has 2 away, with North Iowa threatening.
Now batting the left fielder, number 30, Peyton McGregor.
All 3 Ks have been swinging strikeouts. First pitch to McGregor is slapped off the fence right in front of the VIP section. Another example of a late swing there from a North Iowa player. McGee to the plate McGregor overcorrects and is out in front of that one, 0-2. Have yet to see a curveball this inning. See if Miggy can locate one down and away to get the strikeout here. Decides against it, and that ball grounded to Kirkman at shortstop. A tough hop, unable to field it with the backhand, and that will bring in the first run of the game for the Ragin' Roosters.
Now batting the designated hitter number 31, Wyatt Duncan.
Kirkman is sure-handed as they come. That ball hit into right field. First pitch, Carter Payne finds it, ventures into the shaded part of the outfield, and makes the play. So an unearned run for McGee there, but the Pilots keep North Iowa from adding on. We're tied at 1, bottom of the third on the way. You're watching the Expedition League on YouTube. Jared Kirkman will get a quick chance at redemption for a costly error there in the top of the third. Squares the bunt, but Terry's first pitch misses high, 1-0. Fastball nips the inside corner, 1-1. Kirkman, a senior out of Pikeville University. Breaking ball stays high. Terry hasn't quite been able to find the command on that pitch yet. Missing either in that spot there or very low and away. What appears to be a changeup there dives below the zone, 3-1 on the shortstop, Kirkman. And that ball slapped back up the middle. It will get past the diving Castillo and Kirkman. We'll get things started off the right way once again. Just as Caleb Whitley did
now batting
in the bottom of the first, and he comes to the plate once again.
Caleb Whitley!
Whitley hit by that first pitch, so very similar outcoming of events there. And runners on first and
now
second.
the left fielder,
Nobody
11,
away for Alex
Miller.
Miller recorded a single in his first at-bat. Sharply grounded to Castillo. He steps on the bag for one and turns it successfully, throwing to Jordan Kelly. A big play there. Exactly what River Terry was looking for. The twin killing puts Jalen Lee in position
for the Red River Pilots
to have to get a hit to bring in this run.
29, Jalen Lee.
That ball smacked to the right side. Lee is out at first, and that will end the threat. Back-to-back pitches for River Terry gets him all 3 outs in that inning. We are flying here at Kraft Field. 4th inning coming up. You're watching the Expedition League on YouTube. Williston State Teton Jordan Kelly, doubling as a North Iowa Ragin Rooster this summer. In for the 2nd time against Aiden McGee, takes the first pitch for a ball. He'll swing and miss at the 2nd pitch, 1-1. Kelly out of Amaru, Australia. One of the men down under. Takes strike number 2, another good fastball, nicely located from Aiden McGee. Kelly was McGee's 2nd strikeout victim of the game, and now he's the 4th as well. McGee has things cooking here in the early going.
Now batting the 3rd baseman, number 5, Carson Gross.
Carson Gross takes ball 1 to kick off this at-bat. Flew out to Caleb Whitley in center field. Back in the 2nd inning, takes a fastball off the plate inside, 2-0. Gross, a sophomore in Northern Colorado. That ball grounded to Jalen Lee. Makes the play with the backhand, steps on the bag. 2 away, and the Pilots will toss it around the infield once more.
Now batting the catcher, number 22, Andrew Pyle.
Andrew Pyle bounced out on a chopper to Jared Kirkman at shortstop in his first plate appearance, and that ball doesn't come off McGee's fingers properly. By far his wildest pitch of the evening thus far. Has walked 3 and hit 1. And the 1 run he allowed came in on an error with 2 outs. So a bit unlucky there. He's behind 2-0 on the catcher for North Iowa, Andrew Pyle. Now he's behind 3-0. Pyle, one of 2 Long Beach State players in the lineup tonight for North Iowa. There's the 4th walk of the game for McGee. The first drawn from Pyle.
Second baseman, number 3, Cameron Redunn.
Cameron Redunn led off the top of the 3rd and came around to score on that error I just mentioned. And he's ruled to have offered at that pitch. Will be 0-1. Pyle walks down to second. Appeared there may have been a bit of confusion if that ball was fouled off or not, but just deflected off the mitt of Jason Willers. Runner in scoring position for Rendon with 2 away. That fastball sent above. 0-2. Rendon, a Grandview Viking, chops that one. McGee bare hands, throws to first. Lee gets on his tippy toes to snare it. McGee faces 4 in that inning. No more runs for North Iowa. The Pilots will look to regain their lead in the bottom half of the inning right after this break. You're watching the Expedition League on YouTube. Welcome back to Kraft Field, the summer home of the Red River Pilots. Currently residing in 2nd place in the Expedition League. They're facing the North Iowa Ragin Roosters and River Terry, who misses with his first pitch, 1-0 to cleanup hitter Jason Willers. Terry quickly back to work. Willers hacks at that pitch. The third or fourth ball we've seen fouled straight up over the camera. At least our primary viewing angle. 1-1 on Willers. Breaking ball misses away. Terry entered this game with an ERA of 16.88, which, if you know anything about baseball, is not the greatest. Willers under one to left. It drives McGregor back to the warning track in left center, but he hauls it in. That will bring the 5-hitter Tyler Wiltshire to the plate.
The third baseman, number 6, Tyler Wiltshire.
Wiltshire went down looking in his first at-bat. That ball grounded to Josiah Collado, first base coach this evening for Red River. It'll be an 0-1 count. As I tried mentioning earlier, Wiltshire went 1 for 4 against Pierre on Sunday. Way ahead of that breaking ball, 0-2. He was on base 3 times in that game, though he reached twice on error. So, despite what looks like a relatively poor batting line, he was on base 75% of the time, and he flies out there to Mike Pratt in straightaway center field. About as straightaway as I've seen any ball hit this year.
Now batting the right fielder, number 15, Carter Payne.
And the lineup for each side providing little resistance right now to the starting pitchers. Old-fashioned pitchers duel so far. Only 2 hits, both coming from the Pilots. Payne takes high and tight, 2-0. Pilots actually have 3 hits, pardon me. That fastball was a little more over the plate, but just as high as the previous one, so 3-0 on Carter Payne. Walked in his first plate appearance, brought his base on balls total to 9. Watches a fastball that just catches the outer low quadrant of the zone, 3-1. And that one dives below, and Payne draws his 10th walk of the year. Seemingly knows it. Pumping his fist and hopping on first.
Number 9, Isaac Becker.
Becker didn't have a chance to get an extended at-bat his first time up, as Nick Eastham made a brilliant sliding play in foul territory down the right field line. Becker had a bit of bad luck so far this season, has hit the ball hard quite a few times, but hasn't really been able to have much success reaching base with those hits. Seen it counteracted somewhat by a couple of flares, but you know you'd like to see the hard hit ones land and drive in some runs. He flies out to right field. So Eastham, Pratt, and McGregor each record a putout in that inning. All 3 fly balls to different outfielders for the Pilots. We're not even an hour into this game, but the 5th inning is on the way. You're watching the Expedition League on YouTube.
Pepperoni pizza in concession.
We're back to the top of the order here at Kraft Field. Mike Pratt takes strike one from Aiden McGee. Pratt, the only player to reach base in both his plate appearances so far tonight, for North Iowa at least. First time was on a walk, and the second on a hit by pitch off the right calf. Goes golfing after that pitch, swing and a miss. We've got a 1-2 count. On the Ragin Rooster leadoff man takes a fastball just above the zone, 2-2. McGee comes set and fires home. That ball hit down the right field line. Looks like it's tailing foul. Payne giving chase. Throws himself after it, but is unable to make the grab. Had to travel a long way after that one. So everybody will get a breather, and we'll redo the 2-2 in a few moments. Pratt played in 7 games last season at Maine. Takes low and in, full count on the way. He went 3 for 21 in his at-bats this year. Scored 4 times. Fouls off that payoff pitch, and we'll have another. He also drove in 3, got hit 3 times, walked twice, stole 1 bag, and was caught trying to steal another bag. So a little bit of everything there. Inside corner, McGee paints it. His first strikeout looking of the game.
Now batting the shortstop, number
And it's the
24,
4th consecutive inning where he has sat
Castillo.
down the leadoff man on strikes. Had to work a little harder in that at-bat. Went 9 pitches. His 10th of the frame sails high to Robert Castillo. Castillo is the other Long Beach State player in this game for North Iowa. The first being catcher Andrew Pyle. First one I mentioned at least.
I've got a lonely burger here too, so I'm gonna.
McGee steps off and will reset. Been pitching exclusively out of the stretch. The 1-1 pitch is low, 2-1. These two teams are going to see a lot of each other over the next 30 hours. That one popped up on the right side of the infield. Thompson ventures into short right field and brings it in for the second out.
Now batting the right fielder, number 4, Nick Eastham.
Nick Eastham in his third at-bat takes a strike at the knees. McGee doing a great job at staying out of the heart of the zone, really painting the edges all the way around. Quickly back to work. The 0-1 misses high and in. And the 1-1 bounce to Wiltshire at third. He'll have to get the throw over there. And just in the nick of time, Nick Eastham thought he was going to be able to beat that one out. Takes the helmet off. Does a couple of hops in frustration. Not the strongest throw ever from Wiltshire, but it gets the job done. Aiden McGee has been pretty special so far tonight through 5. We'll see if the Pilots can get him some more run support. You're watching the Expedition League on YouTube.
Leading off for your Red River Pilots, the second baseman, number 1, Tanner Thompson.
Tanner Thompson at Jared Kirkman's familiar position tonight as Kirkman moved over shortstop in the stead of Jack Walton. First pitch of the 5th for River Terry is high for a ball. Thompson went down looking his first time up, and this time dumps a single line drive into left field. Peyton McGregor fields it on one hop, quickly gets it back to the infield. And the speedy second baseman
The single. Now
serves as the lead runner.
2, Jared Kirkman.
Runner that would give Red River the lead once again. Jared Kirkman squares to bunt, lays it down, and it trickles foul. Thompson head down running all the way, turned for third because he saw no one was there, but he'll jog through the middle of the diamond to get back to first. Kirkman got a rare off day in the last game the Pilots played, as that breaking ball misses way high. So his last outing came on Saturday against these Ragin Roosters. Kirkman pulls back on that breaking ball. It shoots away from the zone. Appeal to the field umpire. Agrees, 2-1. As I mentioned, he's typically at second base. Has also played some third base. Three and 1 count now. Very favorable hitter's count. We'll see if manager Matty Holland lets him swing away. He does, but Kirkman with the sharp eye draws the walk. And the first 2 hitters of the bottom of the 5th reach, giving Caleb Whitley a golden opportunity to drive in some runs.
Caleb Whitley!
One quick change. We're gonna serve
Whitley
it
is 1 for 1.
I don't know if you
And
announced
he squares to bunt that time.
last call or don't you usually? Yeah, we're gonna go through the bottom of the 8th. So, okay.
Seems Terry has been unable to find the control when Pilot players square around. Checks both runners and fires home. Whitley bounced to first, just foul. Ball less than a foot away from the first base bag going down the line. One and one the count. Whitley, the only run of the game tonight for Red River, and he does a beautiful job sacrificing himself there. You could see the hustle all the way, but Terry gets him by a step. And Alex Miller
Now batting the left
will
fielder,
look to give
number
Red River
11,
the lead once again.
Alex Miller.
Miller swings at that first pitch, unable to make contact, 0-1. A fantastic outing for him in the final game of the 3-game neutral set in Sioux Falls. That's where the Expedition League spent its weekend. All 4 teams, these two, the Pier Trappers and Service Valley Sabre Dogs, each played down there. Miller dribbles that one up the middle. He'll beat it out at first base. It's an infield RBI single that puts Red River back in front 2-1.
Now batting for your Red River Pilots, the first baseman, number 29.
And with the most dangerous Pilot hitter on his way to the plate, time is called, and there will be a mound visit from manager Dakota Greer. A grad assistant from Midway. So he did his job luring Nick Eastham out here to the Expedition League.
Now batting the
That move
first
has obviously
baseman,
paid
number 29,
very good dividends.
Jalen Lee.
And Miller, second on the team in steals with 8, unable to resist going there. The double play, the double steal play. Kirkman gets under the tag. Looked like he was going to be dead meat at the plate, but Pyle unable to control that ball on the throwback from Rendon. So the double steal works again. It's the second time Jared Kirkman has swiped home. The Pilots, with their second run of the inning, lead 3-1. And that score now reflected in the on-screen graphic. Jalen Lee steps out of the way of an inside fastball, 3-0. And that one just catches the inside corner, and I mean just. The edge of the ball, just over the edge of the black. Lee doesn't like to get cheated in his at-bats, as you could tell from that swing there. Doesn't walk much, only has 1 base on balls this season. And he'll stay alive after just nicking that ball. Lee, another one of the Mid-Atlantic Christian players on this team. Miller off for third. Lee will send him back to second. Not sure if you could see that slide, but these Red River players are really smooth on their way getting into the bag. Not sure I've ever been that graceful myself. Payoff pitch once again. Lee pops it up. It's drifting out into shallow center. Castillo right along with it. And with 2 hands records the second out of the inning.
Now batting the catcher, number 26, Jason Willers.
Willers windmills the bat twice and puts it on his shoulder. Swings at the first pitch and it's sent foul. Manager Matty Holm will run after that one down the line. The first homestand of the year, Red River spent its time in the third base dugout, but decided to transition to the first base one for this series. Doing so provides them the shade as we get deeper into these games. Willers, a big cut. He's looking for where that ball went. Knew it went foul, but deflected off of the catcher pile. A good glimpse of right fielder Carter Payne retrieving that ball. The 1-2 pitch is slapped at, and Willers stays alive. He was way ahead of that pitch. A quick tug of the bill of his helmet, and he's ready to swing again. This one fouled further down the first baseline. Home plate umpire looking for some baseballs. And just out of your view, Micah Barkenhagen meets him halfway. Willers flew out to the first baseman in shallow right field his first time up. Flew out to the left fielder Peyton McGregor at the warning track last time, and that ball is going to be caught by Eastham, gliding in. Nice job there backing up his teammate as Rendon could not find that ball for the life of him. That ends the fifth, but the Pilots get two more and they lead 3-1. Aiden McGee will look to keep the train rolling. You're watching the Expedition League on YouTube. Aiden McGee returns to the bump for the top of the sixth, looking to continue building upon what has been his best start of the season. That ball is lined to left field. Alex Miller charges in, will be unable to get there. And that, ladies and gentlemen, is the first hit of the ball game for North Iowa.
Now batting the designated hitter number 31, Wyatt Duncan.
I sort of alluded to the fact that the Ragin Roosters had no hits earlier when I referenced McGee being special so far. Obviously harder to track for those of you at home as Willers steals a strike there with a beautiful frame job. That ball looked like it may have been at Duncan's shins, but very smooth effort from the catcher. Pulled it right back up knee height. Tries to do the same thing there, but is not as successful. 1-1. Runner on first, McGee kicks and fires. It's a high fastball that's popped straight up. It looks like it might be drifting a little further. That ball ends up in the middle of left center field. My goodness. I'm not entirely sure how that ball ended up that way. You can see Wyatt Duncan looking straight up at the sky. But
Jordan Kelly.
ball ended up getting out there a little bit. Nonetheless, there's good communication between Kirkman and Miller on it. And one down in the top of the sixth. First pickoff move of the night from McGee. So McGregor dives back safely. A great pitch there. Makes it 0-1 on Jordan Kelly. Talked about Kelly being a Teton of Williston State earlier. One of his teammates, Kobe Fredlin, pitches for these Pilots. So some familiarity there. Not the only college teammates opposing each other in this one is designated hitter Isaac Becker and pitcher Isaiah Birkland, who has not appeared tonight, but he is on the Ragin Rooster roster. McGregor tries stealing, and he is gunned out by Jason Willers. Absolute dart of a throw. I don't think that ball left its trajectory until it reached the mitt of Kirkman. A quick slap of the tag, and there's two down. 0-2 for McGee on Jordan Kelly, and he replaces McGregor at first with another single.
Now batting the third baseman, number 5, Carson Gross.
Jordan Kelly, used to hitting the ball like that, has 108 career hits in 90 games at Williston State. That included 41 extra base hits over those games. So, big time producer out there. Carson Gross now, representing the tying run in this game, takes a fastball high after a first pitch strike. So 1-1 the count. A nice looking breaking ball there, but it doesn't come all the way back. 2-1. Gross was a .250 hitter in 17 games at Northern Colorado. 10 of those were starts. He takes another high fastball. The 3-1 from McGee is a fastball hit down the left field line, and it's out of play. Wiltshire gave it a brief look, but realized it was headed for the cars in the parking lot. Jordan Kelly stands on first. Carson Gross awaiting the payoff pitch. Catches him looking. Aiden McGee, his second paint job of the night. Gross was ready to toss the bat back to the dugout, but instead he'll carry it over there. Some beautiful work for Aiden McGee here at Kraft Field tonight. The Pilots will look to expand their lead in the bottom of the sixth. You're watching the Expedition League on YouTube. Number 6, Tyler Wiltshire, will kick off the bottom of the 6th here at Grand Forks. It's a high fastball that Wiltshire gives a bit of a smug look at. 1-0. On the Pilot, third baseman. Inside, a good paint job there from Terry. He and McGee just layering that inside corner to lefties. Wiltshire way ahead of that breaking ball. It just stays fair, and it's an easy 3 unassisted for Jordan Kelly, 1 out.
Now batting the right fielder, number 15, Carter Payne.
Carter Payne has drawn walks in both of his plate appearances today. He starts this one off with a ball. Terry snapped that one off just beyond the outside corner to Payne. Delivers a fastball that time that's nubbed back into the bricks here. 1-1. Another cut there from Payne into the bleachers. 1-2. And that ball grounded right back up the middle. Payne will have to hustle. He's safe. Beats it out at first base. That ball nutmegged River Terry on the mound and then bounced off said mound. Castillo barehanded it on the charge in, and a nice stretch from Kelly, but Payne the hustle
The designated hitter,
is rewarded.
Number 9, Isaac Becker.
Pilots had a group workout this morning. Sure, that's the term manager Matty Holden would use. So fastball clips the low and away quadrant. 0-1 to Isaac Becker. Some sprints, among other things, at 5 a.m. this morning for the Pilots. Maybe getting the legs loose early in the day is what enabled Payne to beat that out. I'm sure the players will be thrilled to hear that reasoning from Matty Holden, his motivation to get them up at such an early hour in the future. Second consecutive breaking ball stays off the plate. 2-1 to Becker. Becker out of Iowa Central Community College hits that ball into left center. Appeared to just get under that one. Pratt ranges to his right, squeezes it with the right hand. The second out of the inning.
Now batting the second baseman, number 1, Tanner Thompson.
Tanner Thompson gathers himself and readies for River Terry. Carter Payne off with the pitch. It's a taken strike. Payne glides in safely. Knew it all the way. Had the hands out to his sides representing the call as he was standing up on the base. So he's in scoring position for Tanner Thompson, who scored the second run of the ballgame for Red River. He squares the bunt that time, pulls back, but a strike is called. Terry delivers again, breaking ball away. Thompson, a 205 hitter entering play, and that average will go up on that laser up the middle. It dies out in center as Payne rounds third. The throw is cut And Tanner Thompson has his first RBI of the ball game. And the Pilots now lead it 4-1 over the Ragin Roosters.
Now batting the shortstop, number 2, Jared Kirkman.
Ball 1 to Jared Kirkman. A familiar name in the 9 spot for the Pilots. 2-0 now. But manager Matty Holm views him as a second leadoff hitter of sorts. Heard me talk a few times as Kirkman really shining with the glove. Doesn't mean he can't do work with the bat, but most of the time when he's in, it's for the strong defense that Holm loves so much. The Pilots really provide that all over the diamond. We've seen numerous examples all season long. Just some outstanding efforts. Some outfield assists, some diving plays out there. Kirkman slaps that ball into right center. It will drop. Thompson around second. The throw goes to third, and he will be safe as it gets away. Holm gets out of the way. Thompson only gets a couple steps off of third before backpedaling in. Kirkman stands at second base.
Now batting the center fielder, number 5, Caleb Whitley.
Will only go down as a single for Kirkman as he moved up to second on the throw. But the table is set for Caleb Whitley. He awaits the 1-0 pitch from River Terry, and it's now 2-0. Terry has gone deeper in this ball game, 5 2/3, than he had total innings pitched coming into the day, which is 5 1/8. As Whitley takes a breaking ball for a strike. That ball tucked itself neatly on the inside corner. That one unable to be replicated, though. It's 3-1 now on the leadoff man. And a sharp fastball just off the plate. Whitley trots to first. And Alex Miller. He gave the Pilots the lead earlier. Could make it a 4-run game perhaps, or even a 7-run game if he's able to get a hold of one. There's a mound visit. Greer and Terry talking it over. You know Terry's really grinding at this point. He's been sharp. Not a lot of hard contact. Pilots do have 7 hits, but all of them are singles. His effort tonight earns the trust of Greer, who leaves him in a big spot.
Miller.
Miller has been on a torrid stretch at the plate. He's absolutely blazing, takes 1-0. He's 2 for 3 tonight with an RBI and a steal. And that one deflects off the glove. And Terry does just enough to rob Miller of multiple RBIs there. It'll go down as a 1-4-6 fielder's choice. 7th inning on the way. We'll see if Aiden McGee returns to the bump or if we have a new pitcher. Find out right after this break. You're watching the Expedition League on YouTube. And there is a new pitcher on the mound for Red River. He delivers 1-0 to kick off his evening. It is the newest addition to the Pilots, right-handed pitcher Austin Vandenbrink. He paints the outside corner there for a strike. Vandenbrink joined the Pilots out of Murray State Junior College. He's a sophomore there. Murray State Junior College, not to be confused with the Racers of Murray, Kentucky. Breaking ball stays outside, 3-1. The junior college in Tishomingo, Oklahoma. Swing and a miss from Pyle there, makes it a full count. The payoff from Vandenbrink, fouled straight back at the camera once again. Lots of velocity on the breaking ball there. Very tight spin. It appeared Pyle was a tad behind us. We'll see if he decides to go fastball this time. He does, but it misses outside. So Pyle works the leadoff walk.
Now batting the second baseman, number 3, Cameron Rendon.
Despite being the latest addition to the Pilots, it is not the debut for Vandenbrink as he fires a get-ahead fastball in there to Cameron Rendon. Made his first appearance on Saturday against North Iowa. That followed a brilliant outing from Santiago Gomez. A breaking ball 0-2. Rendon is 1 for 2. Takes a breaking ball looking, strike 3. A little bit of disbelief from Rendon there, it appears, but Vandenbrink knew it all the way.
Center fielder number 15, Michael Pratt.
Not much you can do with a curveball like that. You see the velocity that Vandenbrink fires on his fastball there, and he slips on the rubber. That'll go down as a balk. So Pyle will take his time, moving up to second. Some unfortunate foot placement costs the Pilots 90 feet. Pratt is 0 for 1 with a strikeout looking, a walk, and a hit by pitch. And this one is popped foul to the third base side. Into the bleachers, 0-1. The first time against the Ragin Roosters, Vandenbrink completed 2 innings. Allowed 1 hit, 1 walk, and 1 run. He did strike out 3. So his ERA sits at 4.5. That ball tails into left center. Alex Miller ranges over and fires. Jared Kirkman leaps into the air and snares it.
Now batting the shortstop, number 24.
2 down for Austin
Robert
Vandenbrink.
Castillo.
That ball initially appeared destined for the glove of Caleb Whitley, but it just kept working its way more toward left field, so Miller the recipient. Castillo just clips a fastball there, rolls past the left foot of the home plate umpire. Willers hands it up to him. It goes back in the pocket. Breaking ball stays off the plate, 1-1. Vandenbrink steps off, keeping Pyle close out there. You don't want him scoring on a single. So as close as you can keep him to second base, the better. And you know the Pilots have the arms to chop him down at the plate if the opportunity arises. Off speed has Castillo out in front, 1-2. Vandenbrink comes set, fires home, breaking ball outside again. The Pilots have done a great job at keeping the ball on that corner all night, but that one just falls off. Quick check in the 2-2. Missing further that time with a fastball, full count now. Castillo still searching for that first hit of the Expedition League. He's 0 for 3 tonight. Tanner Thompson has caught the ball off his bat twice, and that time Willers catches it from the arm of Vandenbrink. Swinging strike 3 ends it. It's time to stretch here at Kraft Field. The Pilots lead it 4-1 over the Ragin Roosters. You're watching the Expedition League on YouTube. A new pitcher for the Ragin Roosters, fellow Centralia product, Caden Miller. So it's a full Centralia game for the Ragin Roosters. His first pitch misses high to Jalen Lee. That pitch high as well, but in the zone, Lee unable to catch it. 1-1. Lee bounces that one. A couple hops to Rendon at second. And that's a 4-3 putout. Lee is 0 for 4. Does have an RBI on the 6-3 groundout he had in the first inning.
Now batting the catcher, number 26, Jason Willers.
Willers has flown out to first, flown out to left field, and flown out to right field. Really likes swinging at the first pitch. We'll see what he does here to Caden Miller. Takes a breaking ball right at the knees, 0-1. Willers has come up in some big spots throughout the year and taken a good hack at those first pitches and driven them well, but not many of them have found the grass out there, unfortunately. Still sporting a pretty good average, but it just seems like in some of the biggest moments, the bounces haven't gone his way so far. Does have 3 RBIs, 3 doubles, and 3 run scores. A wave and a miss there. Has only struck out 4 times compared to walking 3. And Matty Holm loves the model he sets for young catchers Josiah Collado and Jaden Cockrell, and that ball is grounded through the 5.5 hole over there. The leadoff man on base once again for the Pilots.
Now batting the third baseman, number 6, Tyler Wiltshire.
Tyler Wiltshire coming up again. The first pitch from Miller out of the stretch. He squares. That pitch catches the outside corner, 0-1. Quick breather. And both players ready for the pitch. Willer's leaning back toward first. Gets a secondary lead. And it doesn't look like it'll do him much good. It's a 4-6 fielder's choice as Wiltshire's hustle prevents the inning from ending.
Now batting the right fielder, number 15, Carter Payne.
Payne is 1 for 1 with 2 walks, a stolen base, and a run scored. Say that's a pretty good evening for someone at the plate. He has a chance to do even more damage right here. He's ahead 1-0 once again. And that ball is sent sky high. Castillo settles under it. And that's 3 away in the bottom of the 7th. 8th inning upcoming. The Ragin Roosters running out of time here in Grand Forks. You're watching the Expedition League on YouTube.
Now batting the right fielder, number 4, Nick Eastham.
Welcome back. You're watching the Expedition League on YouTube. The Red River Pilots leading this one 4-1 over the North Iowa Ragin Roosters. We've reached the 8th inning here.
Thanks.
Breaking ball, a beauty low and away, catches the zone from Vanderbrink, tries to replicate it but unable to. Now 1-1 on right fielder Nick Eastham. His average dropping back down close to the 400 mark. Obviously nothing wrong with that, but you know he'd love to keep it at 400 plus for as long as he can. Vandenbrink whizzes a fastball right by him there, 1-2. Breaking ball had some nice action, just missed his inside. Eastham had to bail out slightly to not get hit with that one. He's unable to spot that one on the outside corner. The count is full. 0 for 2 with a walk is Eastham, and he goes down looking. Had dropped the bat, was taking off the elbow guard. He disagrees with the call.
Now
His
batting
opinion
left
doesn't mean
fielder
much
number
here.
30, Peyton McGregor.
It's the third strikeout of the game for Vandenbrink. He's only faced 5 hitters so far. Eastham was his second victim looking. McGregor smacks that ball deep to left field. It's tailing and goes foul. Would have been a home run if it had stayed fair. It clears the Chick-fil-A sign just to the left of the pole out there. You can see the 330 mark right below that pole. Would have been the second home run for McGregor here at Kraft Field. Sadly, we're still awaiting the first Pilot home run here, but I'm sure it'll come in due time. Second consecutive pitch misses high there from Vandenbrink. 2-1 on the Ragin' Rooster left fielder. It's 1 for 3. Way ahead of that curveball. 2-2 the count. Struck out in the first inning, reached on an error in the third inning. That error, the reason the Ragin' Roosters have a run. Out in front of that one, it's one hopped on a line to Wiltshire. Low throw. Lee is unable to pick it in time. Squirted out of the glove. He tried rescuing the play with his bare hand, but McGregor beat it out.
31, Wyatt Duncan.
So he reaches on error once again. Wyatt Duncan, another North Iowa player who's 0 for 3. DH tonight. Regularly see him at first base. He's out of Biola University. Breaking ball stays outside. Duncan, a .258 hitter in Expedition League play so far. Is that one sent way up in the air. Whitley hustling in. Lays out. He's unable to get it. Payne will try to fire for a fielder's choice from the outfield, but he can't. That ball just hung up there forever, but doesn't seem like any of the Pilot players were able to find it.
Now batting the first baseman, number 12, Jordan Kelly.
Thompson creeps in behind. McGregor is second. So a tying run at the plate now after some bad luck from Vandenbrink. For Vandenbrink, I should say. Tries to make up for it himself with a strong fastball. Kelly swung right through it, 0-1. The breaking ball stays inside. Kelly looking to keep this North Iowa rally going. Could add a lot of fuel to that fire if he's able to make some hard contact and drive a ball into a gap. Vandenbrink steps off to keep McGregor close at second. Kelly wiggles the bat. The pitch, curveball on the outside corner, a brilliant one. 1-2 now. So Vandenbrink with a runner reaching on error and a really good luck single. And it looked like Willers wanted to go to second there. The double steal works out. No one was at the bag. Wiltshire was at third, but Willers would have had to maneuver that ball around Jordan Kelly. Would have been a very tough play. The fastball missed high, so it's 2-2. The Pilots lead it 4-1. Kelly just clips that ball. Thought initially Willers may have just missed it, but would have been a rare sight. We've got time on the field. A pinch runner entering the game. It'll be Dane Nakasuka coming in for Wyatt Duncan. Two on Kelly, breaking ball just off the plate. A full count. Vandenbrink trying to work through it. There's a couple Pilot players trotting down to the bullpen. Breaking ball will stay on the infield. Should be an infield fly rolling. Lee handles it in foul territory.
Now batting the third
Didn't see the
baseman,
signal,
number 5, Carson
probably because that
Gross.
ball did drift in foul territory. It's the second out and a big one for Vandenbrink. Two runners in scoring position for Carson Gross, who takes a fastball on the outer corner. Vandenbrink, the breath, fires home, and that ball is smacked into right field. Carter Payne squats down to make the grab. That ball was rocketed out there, but fortunately goes right at the Pilot right fielder. And it was a hairy situation, but Vandenbrink navigates it successfully. And the Pilots are 3 outs away from their third consecutive win.
And also a reminder, last call for alcohol after the 8th inning.
The last chance to provide some insurance for Red River in the bottom of the 8th. You're watching the Expedition League on YouTube. Sage McMinn, the towering right-hander out of Garden City Community College, in to pitch the 8th. Looking to find the zone with that first pitch, but is unable to. It's a fastball high. Rears back and does the same with pitch number 2. Isaac Becker taking a patient approach. Makes a good swing at the first strike he sees. It's fouled back. He's a little mad that he was unable to send that one into a gap somewhere. Circles around the catcher and home plate umpire before digging back in. McMinn quickly working, and Becker gets a hold of that one to left center. Driving both players back to the track, and it is reeled in out there by Pratt. Didn't have the best view of that one as home plate umpire was directly in my line of sight.
Number 1, Tanner Thompson.
Becker, understandingly aggravated, just really has not had the good fortune on balls that he's hit really hard. Fastball on the outside corner for a strike to Thompson. This ballpark is a graveyard. As I mentioned, only one home run here. Thompson down 0-2 in the count. Heard a number of Pilot players reference some of the long flyouts they've had here would have been home runs at Corbett Field, where the Service Valley Saberhawks play. Some 316-foot corners out there, and the fences are not as tall. Here you got to go 330 to the corners, and the fence is about 8 feet high. 0-2 to Thompson. He watches a high fastball. I want to say thank you all for watching tonight and for bearing with us as McMinn misses high again, 2-2 on Thompson. As I mentioned, we're a little short-staffed tonight, so I've been doing the best I can to try and keep this scorebug updated as much as possible. You know, I've been a little bit behind the 8 ball a couple times, but like you said, you know, we're doing the best we can out here. Shout out to Tyler Barlow for pulling double duty with PA work and managing the cameras. Foul ball sent out a play down the right field line. Also working the infield scoreboard here, so everybody doing all we can to keep things rolling. Like I said, we just appreciate you all for bearing with us, and, you know, for tuning into some Expedition League baseball. Thompson battling up here, 2-2. Sends it the same place he sent the last pitch, so we'll run it back. Two for 3 with an RBI and a run scored, and that ball hit hard to the shortstop, and nice recovery there by Robert Castillo. Went to the backhand, deflected off the right side of his glove and settled to his right. Picked it up and sort of fired from the hip like he was an Old West shootout. He got the job done.
Jared Kirkman.
Jared Kirkman back in. Takes a first pitch ball. Kirkman 2 for 2 with a walk, stolen base, and run scored. The stolen base and run coming on the same play. He flies out to Peyton McGregor in left field. Top of the 9th on the way. The Pilots looking for their 3rd consecutive win. Make sure you catch the rest of this one. You're watching the Expedition League on YouTube.
Day and night game doubleheader.
Top of the ninth. We've reached it here at Kraft Field.
22, Andrew Pyle.
In the heart of Grand Forks, North Dakota. Santiago Gomez, typically a starter for the Pilots, but he's in with the save opportunity tonight. Gomez has appeared in 5 games this season, 4 of which were starts. He's thrown 22 innings, allowed 11 hits, 12 walks, struck out 22. Misses high and away with his first pitch of the evening. And that one unable to snatch the side of the plate, 2-0. Gomez a 1-1 record with a 2.86 ERA. So been really sharp. Does have one relief appearance. It came in Pierre, South Dakota. Allowed 1 base runner, but struck out the other 3 that he faced. That ball is hit softly into center. It will drop in front of the deeply positioned Caleb Whitley, and the leadoff man aboard. It's Andrew Pyle. Things started off on the right foot for the Ragin Roosters. And Eddie Madrigal into pinch hit here. Cameron Rendon will take a seat. First pitch from Gomez, a fastball for a strike. A flamethrower out of San Diego. Gomez played at San Diego Community College, or City College, pardon me, last season. But he signed his letter of intent the other day with Bethune-Cookman, a private D1 university in Daytona Beach, Florida. So we're all very excited for Santi. He's a little frustrated that that ball found grass. Off the end of the bat from Madrigal.
Now batting the center fielder.
So
number
2 are
15,
on with no
Michael
outs.
Pratt.
And the order turns over for Michael Pratt. Gomez misses high with that fastball. Probably a little bit of frustration evident there. Can't really blame him. Neither hit he's allowed has been that hard of contact, but that's how the baseball falls sometimes. So, tying run at the plate in Pratt. Gomez to the plate. It's a fastball right over the heart. 1-1. I mentioned earlier these teams would see each other a lot in the next 30 hours or so. They're playing a doubleheader tomorrow. That curveball dives off the inside corner, 2-1. That's to make up for the rain out on Monday. So we have a 6:35 start tonight, a 12:05 start tomorrow afternoon, and then a 7:05 in the evening. All those times are central. Pratt out in front of that one. Shot down the right field foul fence. Vandenbrink out to go get it. Madrigal tying his shoe at first. Just finishes, and up he goes into his leadoff. Two-two count on center fielder Michael Pratt. Gomez checks the runner at second, fires home. It's bounced down the line. It's fair. That's another tough break. Lee laid out but was unable to get it 1 run will score, and the play is made. Payne to Kirkman, the out at second base. What a huge play there from the Pilot defense. Carter Payne chops down Michael Pratt. He would have represented the tying run. So the score is 4-2. Runner on third. Instead of having the tying run at second, it stands at home plate in Robert Castillo. Fastball fouled back right at the camera that provides you of the view of the first baseline. A hard one at that. Gomez ahead in the count. Breaking ball just snags the top of the zone, 0-2. Be a big second out if he can get it. It's a slow dribbler. Gomez dives and makes the play. Didn't look the runner back, but Madrigal stayed put at third.
Now batting the right fielder, number 4, Nick Eastham.
Heard Isaac Becker earlier this season talk about not seeing a guy who's 6'4" move the way he does in the outfield. I'm not sure I've seen a 6'4" pitcher move the way Gomez just did in order to make that play. Very impressive, and the Pilots are 1 out away from ending this game. Nick Eastham swings through a fastball. Gomez comes set, the deep breath. Bit of a huff with it. Looks toward the plate. Throws just below the zone, 1-1. If Red River is able to finish this game off, it would represent their longest winning streak of the season. Breaking ball is shot into right field. Thompson wouldn't have been able to get there on a dive. So the tying run, 270 feet away from the plate as North Iowa looks to mount a rally against the top pitcher in the Pilot rotation. McGregor takes a fastball on the outside corner, 0-1. This one could be construed as the Pilots playing with their food a little bit here in the last couple innings. Breaking ball has McGregor out ahead. It's fouled straight back. 0-2 Gomez. 1 strike away from ending this thing. A Craig Kimbrell-esque setup there on the mound. Fires home. It's a breaking ball. Swung on and missed. And that'll end the ball game. Willers with the fist pump holding the ball. Gomez greets Vandenbrink at the first baseline. And the rest of the teammates there as well, as the Pilots will come out toward the mound. It's their 3rd straight victory. Had a couple days off in between games, but the rust doesn't affect Red River. They moved to 8-11 on the year. The Ragin Roosters fall to 6-14. The guys go through the high five line out there.
First game at 12:05. Hope to see you there tomorrow.
Aiden McGee gets the win in this one. It's his first win of the season. Brilliant effort from him. Took a no-hitter into the 6th. Finished with 6 innings pitched. Allowed 2 hits, 4 walks, hit 1 guy. Struck out 6, 1 guy in each inning actually. 3 of which were looking. And 0 earned runs. The 1 run he allowed coming on an error from Jared Kirkman. And just a fantastic outing from McGee. who came into this one pitching with a bit of a heavy heart. I heard pregame that he would be leaving town tomorrow to attend a funeral. I didn't ask who for. Frankly, it's not my business. I wanted to offer my condolences. But by the time I had heard, he was down in the bullpen warming up, getting ready for this one. So I will definitely offer them here momentarily. But just a brilliant outing from him. Able to do something like that with a heavy heart, as I mentioned, just a fantastic outing. And whoever the angel he gained up there in heaven, was looking down on him finally today and really helped push him through that one. And that's a performance that he was really happy to put up. So just, condolences, Aiden, to you and your family, of course. You've got all of Pilots Nation here at your back. Gomez Santiago ends up getting the save. Obviously, there's a last name, first situation right there. Does allow 2 earned. Bit of tough luck. Pilots finish with 4 runs on 8 hits. They did have the 1 error. Ragin Roosters made things interesting. Finished with 3 on 5 hits. As I mentioned, a doubleheader tomorrow. The first game kicks off at 12:05 Central Time. That's 1:05 Eastern. We'll be bringing it to you right here on the Pilot YouTube channel once again. And then the second game of that twin bill, 7:05 Central, 8:05 Eastern, will be brought right here as well. And I'm looking forward to it. Been almost 3 weeks since I've got to see these boys play and call a game, so it's really nice to have them back in town. Thank you all for tuning in tonight. We greatly appreciate your support of the Pilots and the Expedition League itself. Be sure to tune in all season long here on YouTube for us and the rest of the Expedition League. I'm Braden Ramsey. We'll see you tomorrow.